It's deeply confusing to watch a sibling, someone who could once do no wrong, suddenly start to manipulate and gaslight you. To understand how a brother or sister can turn on you, it helps to look at a toxic family like a stage play, where children are handed scripts by a demanding parent. You never auditioned for these roles, but you were expected to perform them anyway. Here is the first role, the golden child. The director, the toxic parent, funnels all positive attention to this star. Expanding the flowchart reveals the scapegoat. Notice how heavy blame and negative attention are redirected onto them, coming from both the parent and the star. This dynamic is an active, functioning mechanism designed to protect the toxic parent's ego and keep their worldview intact. The betrayal you feel from your sibling is the result of a systemic survival mechanism functioning exactly as it was designed to. In this family, the game was rigged long before you ever stepped onto the stage. For years, the golden child might have been the perfect child who could do no wrong. But as you both grow older, they often step into the role of the villain. Their behavior is driven by a deep internal fear. They are terrified of losing their special status in the family. It looks different from the outside, but the golden child is also a victim of this toxic household. Their entire identity has been precariously built on being better than you. As adult dynamics take over, they realize that keeping the parents' favor and maintaining their spot in the inner circle requires choosing the path of least resistance. They learn that maintaining their status requires actively stepping on you. Realizing that their cruelty stems from their own terror of losing their role is a powerful step in recovery. It allows you to separate your own self-worth from their behavior. To maintain their status and keep you isolated, the golden child will use specific tactics to enforce the family secret. This diagram shows a tactic called triangulation. A third party is used to manufacture conflict, with communication flowing manipulatively between parent and siblings. As it shifts, you see the true goal, keeping the golden child centered with the parent, leaving you isolated on the outside. Another common tactic is the smear campaign. This is when your sibling spreads lies about you to other family members, ruining your reputation so they can protect their own golden image. This line graph plots intermittent reinforcement, brief, sudden emotional highs, followed quickly by deep, unpredictable lows of cold abandonment. When this graph wraps into a continuous loop, it represents a trauma bond, a psychological trap that makes it incredibly difficult to break away. Recognizing these specific red flags proves that the game you are playing is rigged. And knowing the game is rigged gives you the permission to finally stop playing. You cannot change the golden child's behavior. They are unlikely to wake up and apologize, but you can choose to step off the stage. This means setting firm boundaries. Without limits, a toxic sibling will continue to use you as an emotional punching bag to relieve their own pressure. This flowchart illustrates the gray rock method. Notice how chaotic emotional inputs bounce off a solid barrier, resulting in uniform outputs. By giving boring, one-word answers, the inputs stop penetrating, starving your sibling of the emotional ammunition they need. By becoming uninteresting and limiting the information you share, you safely exit your assigned role without having to fight a war. When you start setting these boundaries, you will likely face pushback from flying monkeys, relatives who will pressure you to just make peace and get back into your assigned role. They will rely on the old narrative that you are less than. That is a lie. You have inherent value, regardless of what your family says. Instead of fighting that narrative, redirect your energy. Focus on simple acts of self-care and rediscover the hobbies you loved before the manipulation took over your mind. Walking away from the toxic family script creates space for a new, chosen family of friends who actually see and appreciate your true self. True healing and happiness only become possible when you stop waiting for a toxic person to change and start investing that energy into yourself. We made a special guide and workbook on this topic. Link in description of this video or visit traumaunbonded.com. Like, share, and subscribe for more.